If you look here, this here is the paper that you're taking tomorrow, but of course I'm not going to download it and I'm not going to show it to you. I'm going to use last year's final year exam to reiterate my points about the SPC. But there's only one person here. Two people. There's only two people here. Okay, regardless, even if there's two or three, I will still do it. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay, if you're here, say yes. Oh, Fuzzy is here. So is Victoria here? Okay, let's start. 3 of you. It's okay. 3 is a good number. Yes, I know it's very lag. This is YouTube. YouTube is lag. No choice. Unless you're on the Skype. If you want to Skype, it's okay too. So do you want to Skype? Okay, I think. Hello. Do you all want to Skype? Okay, then regardless. Let's start with the SBQ. So what have I been saying so far? So this is your last year paper, nothing new. Let's go through some of the questions to tell you what do I mean when I talk about what I talk about in the notes. Okay, so look at the question. Read the issue carefully. This issue is how far has foreign manpower impacted Singapore. So all the sources you will know are talking about this foreign manpower impacting Singapore or not. So read this thing, okay. This background information will give you both sides of the coin. Okay, in recent years, discontentment among locals who feel that there's competing for jobs and strain and mass transport. So you will know that in some of the sources, this point will be fleshed out, that there's increase in competition, especially in housing and jobs. Okay, then the second part is this one, the opposing factor. We need foreigners to maintain a competent workforce. So you will see sources that relate to this sentence, and then you will see sources that relate to this sentence. So there will always be sources on both sides trying to address this issue of whether foreign manpower has indeed impacted Singapore positively or negatively, regardless. Okay, in this case it's negative here, and in this case it's positive here. Okay, so if you look at the questions now, there will be no time tomorrow to do a paper, so you must pick and choose wisely. So what I would suggest is you always do the first question, but since it's a message question, let's skip. Okay, let's do source A first. Let's recap on source A, something you've done before already. So okay, look at the provenance first. First thing you do, always look at provenance. Okay, this guy is Jim Rogers. He's an American investor. Then ask yourself, would he be supportive of the foreign manpower impacting Singapore or not? So because he's an American, of course, you would expect him to say yes, right? We need the foreigners because he himself is a foreigner. So these conclusions must already come to your mind. Okay, so when you talk about message, most probably his message would be yes, we need the foreigners, and the message would be the why part. Why does he say that we need the foreigners? So then you look at the evidence. Singapore is successful because they encourage immigration. Nearly everyone is an immigrant. Then he talks about the low birth rate. You see, this low birth rate is exactly what is said in the background information, that there's a need for foreigners to maintain a competent workforce in the low birth rate. So we have a low fertility rate, shrinking workforce, aging populations. Okay? We will be an old age home. It will be hard to develop and compete with neighboring countries. So the key idea here is competitiveness. How do you maintain your competitiveness? So with foreigners, it's a good thing for Singapore because we can maintain our competitiveness. Okay, that is what he's trying to say. In order to be economically successful, you need the foreigners. So that itself is your message already. So by reading the provenance, you kind of get an idea of what he might say. You jump to your conclusion that yes, so you read along, does he indeed say yes? If he indeed say yes, then look out for the reason that he say yes. That will be your message. Okay, so let's look at the answer. Now if you want to avoid L2, that means sub-message not related to the issue at all of whether foreigners impact Singapore or not, that is a sub-message. So if you look at all the sub-messages that they give, the message resource is immigrants must support the elderly. Does this relate to Singapore benefit or not benefit from immigrants? No, it doesn't. Okay, immigration policy is too strict. Does this relate to immigrants benefit or not benefit society? No, it doesn't. Therefore, it's a sub-message. He's talking about the immigration policy. Okay, here it says we are successful because of immigration. Why is this a sub-message? Because it doesn't say why. You must have your reason as well as your claim. Here, there's a claim, there's no reason. Okay, here we are facing an aging population. Again, nothing to do with the issue at all. So these are all sub-messages and you will get 2 to 3 marks. Not bad, it's still a passing mark if you can keep the 3 marks. Okay, let's look at the real answer. Unsupported is a passing mark 3. Supported is 4 to 5 marks. So message, same thing, you must have convinced Singaporeans that the government should not restrict the immigration policy. Is this related to the topic? Yes, it is related to the issue of whether we can, the impact of foreigners. Okay, so then you state why. Why should we welcome foreign manpower? Because clearly he's for the issue. Because they are important to support the economy and the aging population, or in other words, to maintain the competitiveness of Singapore. Okay, so you can see here this main message is very clear. Okay, the evidence also must be clear. Why do you say this? Because we have shrinking workforce. If you don't bring in, it will be hard to develop and compete. This tells me that the immigration policy should indeed be relaxed. Okay, then your outcome. What is your outcome? What do they want you to do? Foreigners continue coming in, offer crucial manpower. Okay, this is not really the outcome because it's a message question, but it's more of the explanation. Continuing on, to stay, this is what I said just now, to stay economically competitive. Can? Can? Okay, let me finish this first. I didn't see the chat just now. Okay, yes. Okay, wait, we do one more question first, then we go to the essay. Okay, so we look at the next question. We go to reliability. What do I mean when I talk about all those points in reliability? How far does source E prove? So when you say prove, you must say yes, it proves, no, it does not prove. And always link your proof to reliability. That is what I said in the previous video. Okay, negative impact. So they're asking you about negative impact. So does source E prove or not? So clearly this is a propaganda, I mean not a propaganda, it's a cartoon. So a cartoon will most likely not prove because it has a gender, it's biased. It's biased against the government because it's by S-gag. So clearly it's an exaggeration. So look out for exaggeration, look out for things like this in the political cartoon. So in this way you can immediately say it does not prove because it's a political cartoon, but yet it proves also because it talks about the sentiments that people are facing. But whether proof or not proof, you must always put the main source first. So you must say, talk about this source first before you go in depth into other things. Okay, let's do it very quickly, then we can go to the essay. So if you look at this E, so your content mark 3 is not really a pass yet, but it's almost a pass. So do the content properly. Say that it proves because foreigners will have a negative impact. What does it say? It says foreigners have a negative impact. I know it causes people climbing on the bus and population, blah blah blah. This suggests the influx of foreigners will cause overcrowding and thus have a negative impact on Singaporeans. So this is very simple. Just infer the main source first. Say it proves because it tells me this particular aspect. Then give your reason, give your inference, do a proper inference of the whole source first before you do anything else. So don't jump to cross-referencing immediately. Okay, then if I look at cross-reference, source E proves that it will have a negative impact because it is reliable. So proof and reliable always go hand in hand. Please remember this. When you're cross-referencing, always relate proving to reliability. As supported by source C. So E says that population will lead to overcrowding. The keyword is overcrowding. Source C also says the same thing, that foreigners will cause overcrowding in public spaces and unnecessary congestion. So relate back to the main issue, which is the impact of foreigners. Yes, having foreigners can lead to overpopulation, which has negative impact on public facilities, which can affect quality of life. So this is the direct impact it has. So when you're explaining your cross-reference or your inferring sources, please infer in relation to the issue, which is whether the impact of foreign workers is there or not. Is it a significant impact? In this case, it's a very negative impact because it affects quality of life. So this is the main overarching topic you're talking about. And in the source, it's talking about overcrowding. That is a subtopic that it's talking about. Okay, then this line here is the line that I always say. Therefore, C supports E, E is reliable, and hence E proves that influx of foreigners have negative. This line is very important. Please write it tomorrow in your exam when you do reliability question. After each paragraph, include this line here to support and tell me why you are cross-referencing. Okay? Okay. 3 people, I guess Fuzzy is not here anymore. Okay, essay. Actually, essay is very easy. In a way, what you need to know are the facts. Your examples, you need to know your examples. Then you can use your common sense to explain your examples and link it to the question. Okay? Let's look at this thing. This last year paper. What did they ask you on the essay? Suggest 2 other ways schools can foster. Okay, we use this as an example first because this is about issue 1. So we see how they write out their answer such that it's clear, it's concise, it addresses the question. Here the issue is whether schools can foster. So they're asking you what are 2 ways schools can foster social cohesion. So the key thing in your explanation is you must link it back to social cohesion. Okay? So L1, if you just describe, is 1 mark. If you identify, describe, but no explanation to social cohesion, then it's 2 to 4 marks. If you are okay with 4 marks, it should be okay. If you explain, describe 2 ways, that is how you get your 4 marks, which is already a passing mark. Okay, so even without explanation, you can still get away with the details, your details and your facts. So let's look how we do it. There's a clear point. What's the clear point? Schools can foster social cohesion. So answering the question among race in Singapore is by inculcating core values, respect and harmony in our students during lesson. So this one talk about CCE. Okay, so point first, inculcating core values through lessons. Then one clear example, CCE. Then what CCE does? Weekly discussion about what? Social issues, about promoting racial harmony. Then you must link about what do they do that relates to improvement in social cohesion. So not just anything under the sun about CCE. It must be something related to social cohesion. So yes, you say what they do. They discuss, reflect scenarios and articles that challenge assumptions and beliefs and discuss how to react in situations which are racially sensitive. The key word is here, racially sensitive. Because this already links back to social cohesion. If we are not racial sensitive and we don't discuss about it, then we won't have social cohesion. So in your example, you must link one aspect of your example to a key consideration that can help you understand why this example leads to the main point, the question, which is social cohesion that you're talking about. Okay? Any question? Source E, no, source E, you only need to answer with 4 sources. Find 2 yes sources and 2 no sources. So 4 sources in total. Boleh? For part A, you can use your common sense if you have a good knowledge and understanding, but for tomorrow's paper, it's best not to use your common sense. You must give me the concrete example. Your common sense must link back to the question, to the issue. In other words, your common sense must make sense. And yes, it's slow because it's YouTube, that's why it's slow. Unless you use Skype, then it's faster. Okay? So, let's look at how they explain the thing. Globalization is important, yes. Impact of globalization is important. But diversity is also important, so they are all important. SES is also important. SES, diversity, managing diversity, attractiveness to diversity, and globalization is all in the one paper that I gave this afternoon. Anyway, let's go through this first very quickly. So how do they explain this? When you explain one way, you get 5 to 6 marks. This is the magic number. One way is all you need. One way. So when you write the CCE thing, what they do and what they do to help about related to social cohesion, then you must tell me why. So I would suggest you use the word because. I would suggest you write, after you finish your example, then you write, this fosters your factor, social cohesion, because with guided discussions, you can clarify your misconceptions, then you can appreciate the value of social cohesion in Singapore. Okay, let's look at their second way. They talk about races creating opportunities outside class to interact and bond. So in example, sports and games, interest groups and all these things. So this fosters social cohesion because it's a platform to interact in a common setting, to bond through the activities. Okay? So when you do this, you interact more, you talk more. That's when racial harmony comes along. You understand one another more, and hence you can promote racial harmony among students. Okay? Okay, let's do an example with our issue 2 and 3. Some of the issue 2 and 3 topics. Yes, you forgot to take. Now you say you forgot to take. Anyway, the paper is there in the classroom. You can open it up and take a look. But I'll open it up here for you to take a look. I got it somewhere. Is it in my videos? Is it in my... okay, wait, give me some time to find that document. That must be a good question. Wait. SS revision, but this is a PDF. Anyway, let's look at it again. So this is my Word document, and that is my PDF. Okay, look at this. All these things listed here are all the information you need to know. But if you really can't, just try. And some of it are common sense, some of it are quite easy to memorize, some are quite difficult. But since now it's so late already, you just gotta do your best. Okay. If they come out SES gap, okay, how can you improve SES gap? You must have two main points. Your two main points is you can help through education, you can help through retraining. Okay, then you just write briefly why education. Education means giving opportunities in a meritocratic system for them to have the opportunities to study. When you study, you can further your degree, you can further your studies, you can be more employable. So it's giving them opportunities for education. So what must you write after that? You must write this thing. Give two concrete examples. So financial assistance scheme, education bursaries. Then tell me what are they? They are bursaries given out by the government. Okay, so that what can they do with these bursaries? Yes, what can they do? They can do many things. They can buy books, they can buy uniform, they can afford tuition. Even when they go tertiary institutions, they can afford tuition fees and so on and so forth. Then you must tell me, what about this? So what if you have all these things? When you have all these things become affordable, right? Your books become affordable, your tuition fees become affordable. You can pay, you don't need to worry. And when you don't need to worry, that is when you can put your 100% effort into studying. And when you go higher up the education ladder, you get more qualifications, correct? When you have more qualifications, that is when you can advance, you can find better jobs, right? You can find jobs that need higher qualifications, you can improve your life, you can improve your standard of living, you can have higher pay. And when you have higher pay and the whole society has higher pay, some of your groups that have the education opportunities together with you, when they move up together, that is when the gap, the Gini coefficient, income inequality gap will be reduced, because now because of the opportunity for growth, you can thus reduce your country's inequality gap. So these bursaries, this help given MOE financial assistance scheme and so on and so forth, can actually make things more affordable and give these people from the lower SES and opportunity to actually afford things and to improve in their education so that they can be hired at better jobs, have better job prospects, and improve their lives, and in turn this will help the whole society to improve, and thus your income inequality gap will be narrowed. Okay, Ken? So this is how you must think. So this is the flow that you need. Okay? SES, think about affordability, think about self-improvement, think about job prospects, think about career prospects, think about improving your lives, improving your standard of living. Okay, with these opportunities in a meritocratic system, you have the chance to change your life, to upgrade your life, and as a whole, if everybody upgrades together, then you can effectively reduce the gap with this education. Okay, the second way here is working retraining. So this is almost the same as education, just that these are for people who are already working, who may having low pay jobs, and so on and so forth. So what the government has done is introduce workfare income supplement. Means that they actually encourage your employers to let you go for retraining, or retraining or learning of new skills so that you can improve your skills. When you improve your skills through workfare, through skills future, right, when you learn more things, you get a master's degree or maybe just a diploma, right, and the government actually supports the employees to let the employees go for training. That is when you have an improved quality of your workforce, right? And of course they are more employable, they are more mobile, they have social mobility because of this retraining schemes that the government has introduced. So when you have improved skill set, mobility, employability, that's when you can upgrade yourself, you can move up the social ladder, you can improve your standard of living. And when you improve your standard of living, you thus shift your way out of the lower SES group and you'll go towards the middle or even higher SES group. And that is how, by retraining, by skills future, by workfare schemes like this, you can actually have opportunity to grow, and as a country we can move higher to narrow this social economic status gap. Can show a paper. What paper do I need to show? So let's say they ask you about another question in the many different information that I have here. Let's say they ask you about attractiveness of Singapore to migrants. Alright? Let's say they ask you about this, so you can say that why are people attracted here? Oh, economic opportunities. Definitely. So then you explain a little bit about what do you mean by economic opportunities. So I actually mean by, okay, you break this word opportunities up. What creates economic opportunities? It is jobs, right? So what creates jobs? Companies create jobs. And what companies are so big that they can create a lot of jobs? They are the MNCs, right? So Singapore is already a hub for business, a hub for industries, a hub for companies. There are already a lot of MNCs in Singapore, about 7,000. So when you have so many MNCs, of course more and more people from overseas will want to come here to work, right, to join these MNCs, because these MNCs are successful, they are doing well, they are creating opportunities for growth of the country, right? That is why immigrants will want to come here. So because of these economic opportunities, then you talk about why these technology companies will want to come. So growth, definitely there's growth opportunities. Definitely stable political environment. If you have a country which is very unstable, like Afghanistan or the Middle East or any other country, then if you want to open business there, it's going to be difficult, correct? So what attracts companies to come is when they know for a fact that the government has laws, the government protects companies by law, by paper. Everything is very standardized, there's no corruption. everything is fair play. So that is when I know that when I go into the country, I know there's fair play, I know everything is secure, it's safe. That's why I will go in. Okay, so that's what Singapore has that you must write down. We have ease of doing business, we have growth potential, we have stable political environment, we have a well-established judiciary system. That means our law is fair, we are anti-corruption. Hence, because of all these things, the appeal to foreigners is there. So that is why foreigners will be attracted to come here, because there's no corruption, we can safely do our business, there's opportunities for growth, we can expand from Singapore to Southeast Asia and use Singapore as a base for our growth. Okay, that is why it helps to go to Singapore, because of this stability that we all have. Thus, companies will be attracted naturally to come to Singapore. Okay, let me talk about next point first. If you talk about social, cultural, environment, if let's say they ask you another point, basically you just say that you break down what is social, cultural, environment. Okay, so it means that the landscape, is the landscape friendly to foreigners? Is it good to immigrants? Will I feel at home when I come to Singapore, to a foreign country? Will I feel at home when I bring my whole family to another country, to Singapore? Okay, will I or not? Is the government there putting in measures to help me to integrate, to blend well to society, to make my life easy when I go there as a foreigner? So you must look for what the government has effectively done to promote this social, cultural environment, so that it is appealing to the companies, to want the immigrants to want to come here and work. Okay, so money is one thing, economic opportunities. Another thing is the lifestyle here. Can I blend in with the lifestyle here? So then you must talk about, yes you can, because we already have ethnic communities, cultures from all around the world. We have immigrant support groups. Okay, in your textbook is written, we have the ANZA, we have the Myanmar Club, we have the Singapore Contractor Association, we have the Limited Recreation Centre, we have Golden Mile, different places where different congregations of foreigners interact with one another, such as Golden Mile where Thais go, Liang Court, Japanese Bukit Timah Plaza, the Koreans. So no matter what type of immigrants you are, you will feel at home because you can mix around with these groups. These groups actually exist in certain parts of Singapore. Okay, these support groups actually exist to help you to integrate, to help you to blend into society. So yes, the government has indeed come up with all these measures so that when you as a foreigner, as an immigrant come in, you will be happy because you can blend in, because your own people are here, your groups are here to support you. We have set up everything nicely for you to appeal, so that you not only come here, you will bring your whole family to come here as well. So that is social, cultural environment. Okay, the fact that immigrants will feel at home, sense of familiarity, ease of transition, these are the things that appeal to Singaporeans, to immigrants come here. Okay, then you must also talk about safe environment, because low crime rate, you don't want your business to be stolen or anything, right? So low crime rate, with low crime rate you can thrive, because to them safety is very important. Next, our education is very recognized, is very admired, is very efficient. Then relate something to why immigrants will come, because we are very open, we are very happy with international students. We have many schools in Singapore which accepts and integrates international students. One such school is of course Queenstown Secondary School. You might want to give some examples of why a school does that. What's the benefit of having them here? Why is it popular? Tertiary institutions are popular with international students because high standard, many opportunities. You can do engineering, humanities, arts, vocational skill, whatever you want to learn, whatever your child wants to learn when you come here to work and your family needs to come here, your child can actually has vast opportunities for growth. You don't want to go somewhere where the education system is horrible and your child cannot learn, and your child is stuck and he lost 2 years because you need to migrate to a country, and then he cannot grow. So if you have the back end support for your family to grow with this high quality education system, more than likely you will appeal to the foreigners who want to improve their lives. Okay, so high reputation equals more foreigners because appeal to settle down here because of the bright future due to our high standard of education. So in other words, this is why this is the social economic status, okay, of why we are attractive. Open your Google Classroom. The document is inside your Google Classroom. Look at the document. It's called SS Revision. So from there, read it from there. It will be clearer from there. You can read the words. You can do everything. Okay? Let's do another 2 more. If let's say they ask you about other things. So when you're doing your essay, always ask yourself the questions. Why would they come here? Why? Why is it attractive? What makes it attractive that people will come here? Or if you're doing SES, what is the good thing about these measures that can actually help people to improve their lives, to be attracted, to move forward, to be higher in status? Why? Why is it better with these measures? So ask yourself all these questions. Then jot down everything in point form, including your key examples that you have memorized, that you at least know of. Include them in. Think about the topic, the factor they want you to explain, and think about how think about the issue, and think about how your factor links to the issue, and you're good to go. Okay, let's say they ask you about challenges of diversity. What are they challenges in your opinion, or whether they ask you, is this more important, prejudice, misconception, or is competition for resources the more important criteria in the challenge of being diverse? Okay, then you must talk about what is prejudice. Why is it a challenge? It's a challenge because prejudice, you must define what is prejudice first. So prejudice is about having misunderstandings, having misconceptions about people just because they clash with your culture, they clash with your lifestyle. Hence, you will generalize, you will stereotype everything and everybody as one group. So the moment one person does one bad thing, is stereotypical, is everybody is like this. So that is the stereotype, that is the point of prejudice. Okay? So negative sentiments, incorrect judgments. Then your example would be a uni student in China calling Singaporean dogs because it's denied. And the other example would be denial of racial accommodation and job application based on your race. That is evident in some parts of Singapore. So people's unhappiness with foreigners can manifest itself through this prejudice, where they have negative sentiments, right? What they experience, they're going to spread it on social media. More and more people are going to read it. More and more people are going to think that, hey, we live in a very prejudiced society. Okay, so that's how our diversity actually makes us more prejudiced, because we are not open to understanding them, and they are not open to understanding us as well. So it works 2 ways. It takes 2 hands to clap. If both sides are prejudiced with one another, because of few certain incidents that can spark up and highlight this prejudice, that is how it is a challenge. We need to break this. If not, we won't be united as a society. We will forever be segregated between immigrants and foreigners, 2 different groups. So how do you break these 2 different groups into one group? That is a challenge. Okay, and by doing this, you need to address the issue first, which is the prejudice. How do you break the prejudice? Okay, so you must explain why does this prejudice exist and how does it manifest itself. Okay, xenophobia. If you talk about competition for resources as a challenge in a diverse society, then you must talk about what type of competition, where is the competition, how is it coming from. Okay, the competition is in the jobs, is in the PMET. The competition is in the lower resources, the lower pay rate. Because when you have more people coming in doing the same job, of course the supply will increase, right? When supply increase, more people will want the job. Then you can offer lower wages because you have a group of people who are all wanting to work in the same place. Okay, so jobs is one competition. Then explain the other competition. Infrastructure, more people, public transport cram, healthcare will be cram, public housing definitely will be a shortage. Lower income group, right, you have to shift, right, you're greatly affected by this, especially the lower income group. So thus this will cause tension, unhappiness, suspicion. Again, when they see that foreigners are stealing their jobs, more prejudice will come out, more discriminatory behavior will come out. And if you want society to be united, then that's a tall order to us. Okay, so these are the two things: infrastructure and competition for resources. So talk. Imagine in your brain the logical flow of the answer flowing like a river. Okay, write down the example. Jobs, PMET, infrastructure. What is infrastructure? Public housing, public transport, healthcare. All these things will be crammed with foreigners. So therefore, it is a challenge. Okay, I'm back online. I was offline just now, but now I'm back online. So far, do you have any questions on what I've been talking about? Make sure your essay is a PEW format, PEW or CREW format. CREW or PEW, definition must be there. Examples must be there. Specific examples relating to the issue you're talking about must be there. Explanation must be there. How does your evidence actually lead back? Okay? What's the Google Classroom password? Are you even in the Google Classroom? That's the question. Okay, let me see. Okay. Classroom. Yes, so the password is 3E9IPX. Do you get it? 3E9IPX. 3E9IPX. The document is right here. I would suggest that what you memorize is basically what is your example. So when I talk about SES, boom, your mind, education, retraining, FAS scheme, bursaries, work fair, skills future. What do they do? How do they help? How does it make things better? Okay, financial support for SES families. What is it? Comcare, housing fair grant, GST vouchers. What do they do? Who do they support? How does it help them? How does it make life better? How does it improve their lives? Okay, then you don't need to memorize so many things by asking yourself all these questions, and then you just answer the question that you ask yourself. Attractiveness Singapore. Economic opportunities, definitely. This is one of the main topic. Economic opportunities. What is it? Why is there economic opportunities? What attracts the companies to come here? Why is it appealing to them? Why? So you say, of course, because it's safe. Because the law system is safe. We have potential for growth. We have stable economic environment. That's why more than 7,000 MNCs want to come here. When you have all these things, you open up more jobs. When you have more jobs, people are more attracted to come here. Okay, then give example. Starbucks are coming here from all over the world, but choose to come here. When they come here, safe, stable, growth, environment, anti-corruption, you can actually branch out to the rest of Southeast Asia. With Singapore as your base, you can expand your business. Then social, culture, environment, ask yourself, how is the environment good for me as an immigrant when I come here? So education, is the education what attracts me to education in Singapore? Of course, it's the effectiveness, high quality, wide choices, bright future. So yes, I will indeed come here because secondary school welcoming to international students. Okay, when you talk about the law, safe environment, low crime rate, of course, low crime rate. So how do you link low crime rate to attractiveness? When there's low crime rate, my business will not be affected. My business will not be susceptible to thieves, right? To corruption, to all these things, right? I can safely do my business without having to worry about people stealing my things, and so on and so forth. Okay. So community support. What are the groups there? They are already in Singapore. Where are the enclaves that I can find people of my same race, nationality, so that when I meet them, I can feel more at home. I can feel more at ease. Okay, challenges of a diverse society, prejudice and misconception. What is prejudice? How is it formed? What do people think? How is it bad for society? Because when one person thinks this way, social media can spread this thinking to a lot of people. This can cause xenophobia. This can affect the reputation of Singapore. It's a challenge. Why is it a challenge? If you continue to have this prejudice attitude, of course we will be disunited as a society. Whenever there's a trigger, tipping point, one group will be very angry with the other group, and that's it. Okay? Resources, yes. Talk about where are the competition, infrastructure, transport, everything. Jobs, competition, PMETs, they are stealing our jobs. They are decreasing our wages because high supply equals to lower wages. Again, so keep on questioning in your brain. Question. Integration efforts to maintain tensions. To minimize tensions. What are they? What are they exactly? Between immigrant and Singaporeans, what are they? Okay, you have naturalization initiatives. The journey, e-journey, sharing, experiential tour. Why is this important? Because they can learn about our culture, our history, our way of life. How does it make things better? How does it increase integration? Because when we learn about society, when they learn about our way of life, then there will be less conflict. There will be more understanding, less conflict, and as such, we can get along better. As such, they will be more integrated to our society. Okay, common experience, SCDF, SCF, national service. Our foreigners must go through national service. Our PRs, there's quota in the ethnic integration policy. So what have we done in this common space? NS and HDB. Then you must ask yourself, why? So what if there's a HDB quota for foreigners and immigrants? It ensures that people interact with one another. Okay? Going national service, it ensures that we share common bonds because we are all defending the nation. We are struggling together. We are building brotherhood with people across different spectrums of society. Hence, when you really interact, talk with a person, you get to know him better, you build friendships. That's how you integrate well. Okay? That's how you reduce tensions with all these things. Okay, community support, ask yourself, what do they do, the government does to support the community, to help bridge the gap between the immigrants and the Singaporeans. So national service and non-national. Block parties, we have festive celebration. We have orientation tours. We actually hire them as INC champion. Okay, this really helps them to bring about their understanding of our nation, our way of life, our culture, our identity. It also helps them to participate in this nation building effort. So when they teach instead, they feel more attracted, they feel more appeal to our society, our values, our gifts. Can? So that's how you answer the question. Can? And all these things are the rest, globalization, or impact of globalization, homogenization, hybridization on food. What's the impact? Why are people unhappy? Kung Fu Panda. Why are Chinese unhappy over Kung Fu Panda? Why are Japanese unhappy over the Korean wave? Why? Because there's a loss of culture, there's a loss of cultural heritage. People become more accustomed, right? There'll be domination by the West, so our culture will be eroded, our culture will be in danger of disappearing altogether. So that's why it's a challenge that we need to solve this challenge together based on all these issues that we face. Okay? So driving force of globalization, what is it? Transportation, MNC, technology. Choose two of these three. Elaborate why transportation basically is the hub that we have in Singapore. We have the port. The port society. We have the air force, our airplanes, everything. We have the road networks. Everything is connected together. We have good degree of transportation. Hence people can get from point A to point B very easily. People can get from other places to Singapore very easily. Ideas can flow. When ideas flow, then you have new ideas, new way of doing things. We have then thus this is why globalization is one of the very strong driving force of globalization. Okay, and some other things. So these notes are not comprehensive because I just written things that you need to know for mid-exam. Okay, after the exam I'll give you more comprehensive things, which includes definitions. Definitions are not inside here, so please refer to your textbook or your notes, look back at what are the definitions of each thing. Then you can do well. Haven't. I can do the thing now, the evaluation of sources. If your evaluation of sources, if you are still awake, this thing is a bit laggy. That's why I was looking at the screen. That's why I didn't see you're there. So yes, hi. Do you have the answers for your last year paper? If you have, please look through the answers for your last year exam paper. That explains all the things that I need to go through. I mean, all the things that I need to do for your SBQ. Because I'm futuristic. I look towards the future. Therefore, my timing is 1 hour ahead. Okay. So do you have the paper that I gave you during the thing? The paper where I wrote the essay. You have the essay, right? Oh yes. Okay, I already went through that in the other video. So watch that one to look out for how to write the essay. It's all in the other video. What you need to know is to question yourself when you're writing. Question. When you question yourself, that is when you have the answers. Okay, always ask why, how, then link everything. The important thing is to relax. before you start the paper, close your eyes and pray. Pray for relaxation. When you relax, then you can see things clearly. Then you can look at the essay question and see what exactly they're asking you for. Then you can write the correct examples that they will need you to write down. And then you can give the specific aspects of the example that link to the issue they're asking you for. Okay, let's do one more example. If I can check the paper, give me 5 minutes, 2 minutes. Let me take a water break. 2 minutes, I'll be back. Okay, so 7 people. Okay, before I continue, let me try something. Since you're here, let me show you my okay, let me stop streaming for a while. I'll be back. Okay, are you still here? Say yes if you are still here. Testing, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, since you're here, let me show you what can you achieve when you do well for your O levels. You will have money. When you have money, you can buy whatever you want to buy. So I give you a sneak peek of my collection. I actually collect board games. So I have a lot of board games. So before we continue, let me show you some of my board game collection. Hello, why the thing dropped 2 people? 3. Okay, now do you have this worksheet with you? This is a sample worksheet that you have containing all the possible questions. So when you see the questions, remember to look at what exactly they are asking you for, and look at what are the examples, what are the factors. Okay, so very quickly, I'll just get a pencil. Okay, so let's say we are looking at the first question. So if they say, do you think that socio-economic status causes more diversity in Singapore than ethnicity? Okay, I lost my stream. Hello, hello, testing, testing. Where's my stream? Okay, wait, give me a moment. Somehow this is not working. Okay, one more try. If not, then I'll give up on this thing. Then we just continue on. Okay, yes. We are back. Okay, look at this question. So when you see the two-factor question, first thing you must ask yourself is what exactly are the two factors they want you to explain. So in here it says SES, socio-economic status. Does it cause more diversity in Singapore than ethnicity? So the two issues they're looking for here is these two things. So when you're stuck, always ask yourself and write down firstly, what is SES? Okay, your issue here is diversity. So what do you mean by diversity? You unpack it to find your keywords in your explanation. To have diversity, that means what must there be? There must be variety, right, in the society. That's why it's diverse. Right? There must be a mixture of cultures. There must be a mixture of activities. Right? A mixture of ideas. So all these things bring to your diversity. So break it down so that when you do SES, you can actually link your SES to all these words here. Okay? So how does SES create variety, create a mixture of culture, create different things that you can see? Okay, simply because when rich people, they have more money, right? So more money equals do different types of things. Like example, sports, recreation. They won't do normal sports. You will see like basketball or these things, right? They will do other type of sports like polo, like golf. So hence this is different from the lower SES who will do the basketball and the soccer. So then you have two groups of people doing different things, hence you have a difference. Hence you have a variety of sports being played. Hence this is why the SES actually brings diversity. So this is not very clear for SES, but ethnicity, yes, very clear. So you tell me what is ethnicity, right? Then you say ethnicity is about the different type of culture we have, the different type of races we have, all participating, doing different things, doing different festivals, and so on and so forth. So thus this creates a variety, and thus this makes things diverse. Okay? So this is one example. Okay? Do you get it? Is it clear? Is it clear for you? Okay, do you have any question? Let's look at the questions that you have. Well, I try this thing once again. I'll try it one more time. If it still doesn't work, then we'll just do other things, other questions. Does anybody have a recommendation for things that I can use to show my phone? Right now, currently, it's not really working. Okay, anyway, let's not waste time on this thing. So, anyway, let's say they ask you the question. Another example. So, do you agree? So, another example in the thing that economic opportunities has a greater influence than quality education. So the key thing is influence. What exactly is influence? Influence means you change people's lifestyle, right? The impact is bigger in terms of potential migrants. Okay, on potential migrants. So the factor they're asking you is this: the influence on potential migrants and influence. So you must ask yourself, what attracts migrants, immigrants to come here? Is it more of the opportunities for our economy, or is it more of the quality education? Okay, that's how you link. So you must tell me how economic opportunity actually link to the influence. So what kind of influence? Appeal. Influence means the appeal of migrants to come here, the attractiveness of migrants to come here, the advantages, the disadvantages. Okay, all these things will actually have an influence on whether immigrants want to come here or not. So list down all the minor things about what influence means to immigrants, to migrants. Then give a definition for economic opportunities, which what I said just now, the MNC 7,000, blah blah blah, all these things. It's a safe environment, everything. Thus increase appeal. Thus when you increase the appeal, then thus people with more influence to come here in Singapore. Correct? So that's how you do it. So quality education, again, the information, all the secondary schools, the primary schools are all appealing, all attractive. They welcome international students greatly. And you also have a wide variety of choices and a high standard of quality in the education. Thus, how does it influence? It influences because they can have opportunities in life. They can have advancement. When you have advancement, when you have opportunities, that's when you are more appealing, you're more attracted to come to a place to work, to study. Okay, so thus quality education has an appeal on immigrants. So this is how you do your essay. Look for what is the issue, look for what are the factors they're asking you to talk about, and then write it down. So same thing for the in your opinion question, 7 mark, they'll ask you why blah 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 blah, why Singapore is attractive to MNCs. How do you minimize tensions? Suggest 2 ways you can minimize tensions. Okay, then you say one way you minimize tension is by ensuring that all races are represented, right? So how do you do that? You have You have the schemes in place. The government has put out the HDB, ethnic integration policy scheme, and all the other schemes to ensure that races mix well together. When you mix well, you have understanding. We have understanding, then that is when we can reduce tensions in society. Okay? So that's how you answer the thing. Is Hui Xian, Hui Xian is not here anymore. Is she still here? Is Hui Xian still here? Okay, I think the last 10 minutes we will go through this thing again. For the 8 of you who are not watching. Who are watching. Let's do an evaluation question very quickly. When you evaluate a source, make sure you have 4 sources. Let's look at the answer. Okay, just jump to the answer for the last year paper, so that you can make the you can do the same thing. Okay, no, sorry, this is the essay. Let's move on to the sources. Okay, L4. L3, okay, look at 6 marks for 3 sources, 1 agree, 2 disagree, and 1 disagree. 7 marks, you will get 7 out of 10 if you have 2 agree and 2 disagree. They are clearly explained, so please paragraph your answer. So let's check this thing. I agree. Source E into consideration. Okay, what exactly is the question? Let's look at the question again. Singapore's government should not reduce the influx of foreign manpower into Singapore. The thing is, they should not. Do you agree they should not reduce foreign manpower? Okay, give me some of the reasons why they should, why they should not. And these reasons are clearly stated in the sources you are going to examine. So please infer properly, infer correctly. Don't use the wrong words, use the correct words. Okay? Okay, let's say this one. E, I agree. Taking source E into consideration, it depicts a negative impact of influx of foreigners. Okay, never mind. Okay, wait. It's here. Okay. I agree with the statement. Should not reduce the influx of foreign manpower because source A, B, and D supports it. So clearly list down which one supports it, but you only need to do 2 yes and 2 no. Okay. So do you agree that we should indeed we should not reduce the manpower, foreign manpower in Singapore? So in source A, it says that Singapore faces shrinking population, aging population. This means that the reason why you support the statement that we should not reduce foreigners is that our economy, if you reduce, there will be less people contributing to the economy. Thus, there's a negative impact if you reduce. Thus, link back to the question, you should not reduce the foreign manpower. Instead, you should continue so that we can fulfill the needs of our economy. Can? Actually, I will put the topic sentence first, but in this case, this marker decides to put the example first. But it's okay to, but it's better to put the, since I'm marking the paper, it's better to put the thing first. That means put the reason why we should not reduce the influx of foreign manpower, which is here, because we need to fulfill the needs of our economy. So put this in front. So source A states that we need the foreign manpower. We should not reduce the foreign manpower because we need to fulfill the needs of our economy. Then blah blah blah, because source says that blah blah blah. This means that less people working. If you reduce, there will be less people working, less people contributing. Okay? Then paragraph, next paragraph. So source B, what does source B say in agreeing that we should not? Okay? So the key thing in source B is that foreigners make positive contributions to build our infrastructure and economy. So this is the reason that they give. Every source will have a reason. Please dig it out. This is the reason they give that you should not reduce the number of foreign workers. Okay, so reason, the example is here because it says construction worker build the city's homes, multinational bring jobs, make contributions to Singapore. Hence, if you reduce it, you are going to reduce the impact of the positive contributions. So this is the reason, clearly stated. Then link back to the question, and therefore we should not reduce the foreign manpower coming in. Can you see the pattern here? So source C, same thing. What is the reason why we should not? Because if you reduce, there will be a shrinking workforce. So this is almost the same as the first source. If you reduce, our workforce will shrink. Our economy will be negatively impacted. Okay? So therefore, thus we need the influx of foreign power so that we don't face this situation. Okay, then I disagree with the statement because source C and E challenge it. What does source C says? What are the reason? Give me the reason. I want to know the reason. Because foreign workers provide competition for certain jobs and cause unemployment. So the reason why we should reduce, because unemployment increase in competition. Okay, reason clearly stated and evidence clearly stated, and link back to the question clearly stated. So my light blue is my evidence. In this case, tomorrow, please put the green part in front. The reason why we should reduce our foreign manpower is because it causes unemployment among Singaporeans. How do I know this? Because the source says blah 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 blah. Therefore, link back to the question, Singapore should reduce the number of foreign workers. Okay? You know that this will not happen. So do the same thing. So here again it says overcrowding in public transport. Hence, this is why you should reduce the number of foreign power. Okay, so it always end off with linking back to the question. Therefore, you should reduce the foreign power to avoid this overcrowding thing. Okay, talk about reason, evidence, and link back. Reason, evidence, link back. Reason, evidence, link back. Clear paragraphs for each source. That's how you score the total 8 marks. Okay, if you can't get the bonus 2 marks, it's okay. To get the bonus 2 marks, just check reliability of one of the sources by cross-referencing or by assessing your provenance. But if you can't get it, at least get the 8 marks. It's very easy to get 8 marks. Then you're on your way to passing your paper. I repeat again, your reliability, please, this green color statement. At the end of the cross-reference, please include therefore, since C supports E, E is hence reliable and hence proves that influx of foreigners will blah blah blah. Okay, link whatever they ask you to reliable. Link proves to reliable. It proves because it's reliable. Then main source first. What the main source says. The main source says population, this is a cause overcrowding on top of the blah blah, hence negative impact. After you have done this, then do your cross-reference. This is supported by source C. And hence, because source C supports it, source C is reliable and hence proves that influx of foreigners have negative impact on Singaporeans. There should be some form of chat that I can see what you're saying as I'm talking. If not, I will just go on and on and on and I can't see the chat. So that's not good. So a better way, of course, would be yes, cross-ref to show reliability, unreliability, and thus to show whether it proves or does not prove. Okay, so to the 5 of you, I'm going to leave you with this again because I must stress this because this is very important. It is very, very important. Please don't make these mistakes tomorrow. Especially Shi Hui. Okay, it's getting late. I think you all need to sleep. But let me go through this last part first. The 5 mistakes again that you all constantly make that you need to stop. Before that, let's check this thing one more time. Oh, it works. Okay, very quickly, before I continue, let me show you my board game collection. Here. This is all the stuff. If you study hard, you can have money to buy all these things for yourself. Whether you're collecting board games or collecting whatever things, this will be your life, huh? Your retirement plan is settled. You can just retire playing all these games. So please work hard, study, okay? Okay, now. Okay, the four of you, I don't want to see you make this mistake in the exam. First, because convince, persuade. If it's a government, you say reassure, most probably. If not, convince, persuade, everything. Please. Message and outcome together to get full marks. This is the most important of all. Please write your because tomorrow. Next thing. Okay, your inference, please write tells me. Please do not use show me. Show talking about says. Please, no. Says and shows should only be used when explaining, when showing evidence. That is all. Other than that, please don't use says and shows. If not, I will deduct marks for you even if you're correct or you're wrong. Next thing, in your comparison, in the middle, please write similar and difference. Okay. Next thing, ATQ. Prove, say, prove. Can agree, say, agree. Then add reliability. So make sure you answer to the question. If you don't talk, if they ask you, does this source prove or not, you say, and you just say source A is reliable, then it's wrong. It's totally wrong. So you must say prove, you must say agree, or whatever that they ask you. Surprised, yes, I'm surprised. I'm surprised because blah 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 blah. Is it useful? Yes, useful. So useful perspective, it's always useful because it tells me this perspective about the issue, that these people are talking about this, these people are thinking this way, blah 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 blah. Infer the whole thing, use the correct word, and then you can do it. Okay? And paragraph. Paragraph your answer, please. Make it neat. A neat answer is a good answer. A neat answer makes the marker happy. Can? And finally, of course, your cross-reference must end with summary, which explains. Okay, all these I've said in the previous video already. I just want to reinforce this because it is very important. So don't leave, don't describe. Okay, so check, check, do you write because, do you write show or not? Okay, do you answer the question? So ask yourself, BTS, did you write because? Do you answer the question? Did you use show for your inference? If you did, please change it. Did you summarize your X reference? Did you explain that you are actually purpose of your cross reference? So please summarize everything. Did you select two sources instead? Okay, I think it's better to sleep now. If not, you'll forget everything. Okay, the four of you, I'll leave you with a song.
I've been staring at the edge of the water long as I can remember, never really knowing why.
Okay? Hello, hello? Are y'all still listening? Are y'all even watching? Are y'all even watching? Yes, do you have any question? If not, it's time to sleep. Ask your questions, ask your questions. Hello, hello. Any question? If no question, then please. Okay, have a good night, have a good rest. Clear your mind. Close your eyes. Read the background information tomorrow carefully. Read the issue carefully. And do the thing well. Okay, please pass for me. Please do well. Please pass. Can, is it possible to pass? I believe it's possible. You do your heart and soul, you do your mind, concentrate, focus. Make sure you don't make those trivial mistakes. Even if you blank your whole essay, you can still do well. If you just concentrate on your SBQ, you do it properly. Answer all the questions, link back everything to the question. Ask yourself, have you answered your question? Have you inferred the main source? Okay, these are the things that can help you do well.